Hello, my dear students. Hope all of you are doing good, and this is a quick overview of the advanced accounting paper. If you're writing group 2 paper, please don't watch this video again. As it has been the standard now to warn the students. And the first reaction what I got from a few of my students who texted us immediately after they wrote the exam is that the paper was easy, in fact, one of the question what came up in the exam was a part of our forum discussion. Some student had asked last year, and when he wrote the exam this year, exact same question on partnership had appeared. So he sent a thank you message, and that was really nice, right? So when I also had a look at it, okay, so as I had a look at the paper is easy, straightforward. If you have completed the classes properly, or if you have even gone through the study material and passed your exam papers, this paper was not something which would create a challenge, especially being an advanced accounting paper, right? So the paper, I would say easy, but could be lengthy. Some 5-mark question to read itself will take some 5 minutes. Okay, so there is, I think, where there could be a challenge where you may not have been able to complete 100 marks of the paper, but otherwise pretty standard, straightforward paper. And especially questions on consolidation and all was a bonus. It's like a sitting question. You can score out of easy, right? So coming to the question paper, it's there on the screen. The first question was on accounting standard 5. Yeah, accounting standard 5, very standard question, 5-mark question, and they have asked us different things like whether this provision changing from 3% to 4% is it a change in accounting policy. It is not a change in accounting policy, right? It is a change in estimate. Then the management has introduced a formal gratuity scheme. Is it a change in accounting policy? Again, no, because it is a new thing which has come into place. So it is not a change in accounting policy. Then depreciation in 5 years instead of 3 years. This is also change in estimate. Correct. Then management decided to pay pension to those employees who have retired after completing 5 years of service, and they will get so and so. Earlier, no such scheme was there. Again, this is something which is new. This is not a change in accounting policy. And there was a change in cost formula, like from FIFO to maybe weighted average. That can be considered to be a change in accounting policy. 5-mark, you just need to write yes or no and give an explanation, right? So that is the thing. Then question on deferred taxation, slightly lengthier because they have asked you to calculate deferred tax. You have to present the profit and loss account also, not the account, the statement in the format. So here if you see depreciation is given, so based on this you have to calculate the deferred taxation, right? The tax rate has been given in the question here, corporate tax rate is 40%, right? So now depreciation as per accounting records and tax records. So under tax, currently the depreciation is low or less, meaning to say in the future you will get a higher deduction, so it will be a deferred tax asset, right? So for this you have to create a DTA. Then 100% depreciation is allowed, so you have got excess depreciation, this will be a DTL. Then company made a profit, so you actually have to show what is the profit before taxation. What is the taxation? You have to calculate current tax and the deferred tax and present it. Then donation 15,000 not allowed under income tax. This is a permanent difference. So basically you have to compute the taxable income, and you have to prepare the relevant extract of P&L for the year ending 31st March and show the effect of the above items in DTL and assets as per AS22. Now when they say statement of P&L extract, they expect you to also show, I believe, that you have to calculate the current tax as well, right? That is what you need to do. So this is slightly lengthy question for 5 marks, but again you get 5 out of 5, as simple as that, right? Then again a very standard question on earnings per share. This was not at all a challenge. Then we have another question based on accounting standard 4. Okay, again fire related thing, then claim of damages related thing, then a major property was sold and all of that. More or less again standard questions being asked. So I don't think you had a challenge out here. Maybe out of 20 marks, even if you are able to score maybe somewhere around 15 to 16 marks, even if not that, maybe 12 to 14 marks, it's a good enough contribution to your overall score, right? So that was there. Then balance sheet of Purple Limited given below. This was a question on what? This was a question on reconstruction, and surprisingly this time the reconstruction was for 20 marks. Just a second, I think it is for 20 marks. Yeah, this was for 20 marks. Again, reconstruction standard question, even even if it's slightly lengthier, okay, even if you have spent some extra time, 45 minutes also if you had taken, this is a very good question to score out here, I would say, right? So standard, there is nothing complicated. So preferences were converted to 6% to 8%, but then in a manner in which the total total earnings remains unaffected. So how to calculate, make it 8%, and how do you reduce that. Then value of equity share brought down, so there is a capital reduction there. Arrears cancelled, so again there. Goodwill to be written off. Land and building, again revaluation. These are to be treated as bad debts. Again, standardization. Just that company expects to earn at the rate of 90,000 per annum from the current year, which would be utilized entirely for reducing the debit balance for 3 years. So 90 into 3, 2,70,000. They will be able to they'll be able to write off, or they'll be able to eliminate by future profits. Okay, so this will be used. Balance has to be written off. So remaining balance, whatever is left over, that has to be written off. Then balance should be utilized in writing down patents. Again, a standard thing. Then secured loan bearing interest at 12% is to be obtained. So it's a fresh loan. Okay, by mortgaging tangible fixed asset for repayment of bank overdraft and for providing additional funding. So take this much of loan, repay bank OD, and this is a fresh loan that has to be presented, right? So required to give journal entries, capital reduction account, and the reconstructed balance sheet. I would say if you have done the enough problems in the class, that was sufficient for this. Again, nothing complicated. This one is, I think, a bonus question. Absolutely no problem at all. So you have HNS Limited, balance sheet is given, and the acquired share when the balance in the P&L account was 60,000. Prepare the consolidated balance sheet. No pre-acquisition dividend, no this, no that, nothing. Is there something there in the question? Nothing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lines and 15 marks. Okay, can't ask a better question than this. I'll tell you, consolidation is one chapter where students face a lot of challenge, they find a lot of difficulties. This is something where you could have easily made 15 out of 15. So first 3 questions itself assures you of passing mark, and that is what I have been telling every time to the students. 60 to 70% of the paper is always attemptable, and this time in this case I think 100% of the paper is attemptable, right? Then here is a case of NBFC. You just need to classify them. Standard question again, right? Now this was the question I was referring to. One of our student asked a forum query as to the joint life policy amount. Okay, so 26,000 was the question what he had asked, and here the question is policy is shown in books at 50 and 65. Similar question, it's there in the study material, right? So slightly lengthy, complicated because it's given in a statement format or a written format. But apart from that, there's nothing great challenge in solving this question. Then this is something which comes from your foundation. Okay, if you have learned in foundation and simple 5 pointers, so we could solve that. Then the P&L of banking, again for 15 marks. Again, you get extra time to solve this. I would have maybe considered some 12 marks for this question if I were to ask. Again, a standard thing. Then on liquidation, generally, you get tougher questions. This time it is again a simple one where you have to, calculate the amount each creditor is likely to get. Again, standard things. You are, preferential creditors and creditors overriding preferential payment and all of that. Then coming to the 6th question, standard from AS9. Again, pretty straightforward questions, right? Then this one, this B, they are given for 5 marks, but I think you need at least 5 to 8 minutes to read the question itself. So this is where that lengthiness comes into picture. Okay, so the balance sheet is given. What they have given is notes to account, and company announced buyback of 25% of its equity shares at 15 per share. They sold investments. The company achieved the target of buyback. You are required to pass necessary journal entries for above transaction. So read, calculate, and all of that. So this would something which would have taken more time. If you had to do it. So in such cases where you have to be smart, should I do it or not do it? Is it worth 5 marks or not? Okay, generally I would say 10 mark question or at least 8 mark question, but institute being institute, they are testing it here. Then you have ESOP related question. Again, a very long question. Again, they have given only for 5 marks. So this 6th question was something which was lengthy, and that could have made it difficult for you. And here target, if you see 3%, in the material question what you have, the target has been achieved, but here it increased by only 3%, so target was not achieved most likely, and accordingly you have to cancel it out at the end, right? Then this is again a standard question from AS29. Similar question is there in the study material. Then Agreed to take over Moon Limited, you are required to calculate purchase consideration. Give the meaning of consideration as per AS 14 and calculate the purchase consideration, right? So if you ask me if you have done classes properly, or even if you have done self-study, I'm not, it's not necessary that you have to do classes. Self-study properly, solve questions from the study material, and did some couple of, past exam RTPs, previous year questions, some mock test papers. This was an easy question. Given the subject advanced accounting is, this was really an easy question, right? So I hope all of you had done well, and all the best for your audit examination. I know you will not be watching this video till the end, but still. So this was one paper where a lot of students are scared, but this time it has been easier one for all of you. Chalo, thanks for joining in, and we'll see you soon. After the exams get over, we'll have sessions on how to plan for the upcoming exams. If you're writing group 2 and all of that, that would be definitely there. Chalo, thanks. Bye bye.